Okay, we are live. Okay, why? Because it's Wednesday. So this is our Wine and Whatever Wednesday, coming to you live now the first and the third Thursday of the month. So clearly it's the first Thursday of February, Groundhog Day yesterday, right? But Groundhog Day for us because we're drinking wine. We do it every day. Kristen, I'm the wine club manager with Papa Pietro Perry. Ben usually joins me, our winemaker, but Ben is putting some last minute finishing touches on our Rosé of Pinot Noir because we are bottling that on Friday. Super excited. So I rang Gold, where is he? Our assistant tasting room manager, our assistant winemaker, Dave Low. So hello, Dave, and welcome.
Hey, thank you.
This is Dave's first time on Wine Wednesday. He is, you can tell, beyond thrilled, but he has a plethora of wine in front of him because, again, Rosé is right around the corner. We're bottling this on Friday. I am super excited. Wine Club members, you already got your release. You can order it now or add it to your club. Non-club members, you can join the club and get it now, and or you're going to get your email probably next week or so when it is ready. But Rosé, what is Rosé? Super easy. I make Rosé all the time. Simple. You take your glass, you add a little Chardonnay, am I right? You pop in a little Pinot until you get the color you like. Right, mine's maybe a little darker. You swirl that around, and that's Rosé, right, Dave?
Yeah. So Kristen's being silly. That's not how you make it. Rosé is usually made one of two ways, and that is taking red grapes and letting them come into contact with their skins for a little bit and pressing them, or the way we do it, which is called saigner, which is a French word comes from the word blood. So we bleed some juice off of our fermentation from our red grapes, and because they haven't been in contact with the skins that long, they don't develop that much color. So they get a nice light rosé color.
So this is
a lot of people are surprised by the fact that red grapes have clear juice. So the only way that red wine turns red is from contact with the skins. So to make rosé, you just have to get the juice and just let it get in contact with the skins for a little bit.
And so I like to explain our rosé because we got some new equipment. And so when the grapes come in, right, they pick the grapes, they put them in the bins, they put them on the truck, and they take that nice bumpy ride to the winery. As they're riding, some of the grapes are being crushed, which is letting some of the juice out. And so our equipment used to be straight, right? And so when we would dump the grapes on top of the sorting table, they would go, all that extra juice that dumped out, right? You dump out a jar of anything, you have juice in the bottom, and that juice would just go nowhere. Now, our equipment is this way. The grapes get dumped. They go up here to the sorting table. All that excess juice, we collect, we gussy it up. Ben does his voodoo. You guys do your magic, and voila, kind of that first run, I guess, and so it has a little bit of that color to it. This is our rosé. This, we do not make rosé in this bottle, but Dave pulled some rosé from the barrels for us today. So I am the first person on my side, of course, drinking the 2020 rosé. Dave, you tried it. Ben, you're on. We miss you too, and you're doing a good job with this. So I'm going to pour myself some of the 2020 rosé. Dave, you already beat me to it. You have some in your glass?
I do. It's a little bit lighter than last year's, but it's very similar.
It smells way better than the one I tried to make already. And so, of course, this is Rosé of Pinot Noir because that is what we do, Pinot Noir. We're super excited about this release, and I'm excited to try it. So here goes. Ooh, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Clink, clink, clink. Yeah, we never know which way to go with that, but that's awesome. Got a little watermelon in there. Got a little of that sorbet flavor. Nice. I'm even more excited. So
yeah,
what's that?
A little higher acid than last year, I think.
I don't have any of last year's to compare it.
Well, nobody should.
Yeah, no, nobody should. I think we usually sell out by May or whatnot. But yeah, Rosé, I'm super excited. Bottling Friday, so come next week. We're ready to start sending this out. Valentine's Day is around the corner. It's the perfect wine. Why did we choose this bottle? Very different bottle compared to, obviously, the Chardonnay, the Zin, the Pinot Noir. You other find rosé typically in like a Bordeaux style bottle, but we picked this Hawk bottle.
Hock, Hock, from Hockmeyer. It's a traditional German shape for white wines. So we thought it would look really cool for the rosé, since we don't normally make that many white wines or rosés.
No, we don't. And we used to. The bottle used to be corked. I think first, possibly second, but I think the first vintage was corked. And then we decided it was just too difficult to get into. So we screw capped it, and now it's even easier to drink. Right. Oh, Jamie has a bottle of 19 in her fridge so she can compare. Well, la-ti-da, Jamie.
The screw cap also keeps it fresher, so that you don't get any of the oxidative properties from a cork, which does let some air in. So for a fresh, delicious, rosé, it's nice to have it just under screw cap, so it doesn't age the same way that it would under a cork. Keeps it fresh.
And that's with any wines, right? You can screw cap any wine. Australia and New Zealand screw cap most of their wines, but we like the romance of the cork and the old school of the cork, so we kind of stick with the cork.
It can actually be bad for red wines to be under screw cap. You do need a little bit of micro oxygen to get into the wine to help it age better. So it's actually can be good for some wines and bad for other wines.
Right. I'm wondering the aging capability of red wines with the screw cap versus the cork, especially if you're storing them upside down and they're sitting on that. How long do you think the rosé can age, or how long can you keep the rosé?
I think you should drink it by Labor Day, but it'll be good next winter if you happen to be in Hawaii next winter.
It also goes great with Thanksgiving, but I never have any left over for Thanksgiving, so I'm usually onto the Pinots. Rosé to me is a summer wine. Rosé, I joke, my pairing is a patio or a pool. Clearly, oysters, shellfish go great, but I'm just saying, give me a patio in the sunshine, and I'm more than happy with a bottle or two or three of rosé. So I agree, drink it by Labor Day. Ours is always gone by Memorial Day. So stock up if you can, clearly. All right, Dave, how long have you been with Papa Pietro Perry?
I think this will be my 20th harvest.
Holy crap. So you've been here, well, I kind of knew that, but I didn't know that. But you've been here since the beginning, and Ben found you. How? How'd you meet Ben?
Actually, Renee and Bruce found me.
How'd you meet Renee and Bruce?
Through their niece, Rose, whom I was friends with when I lived in San Francisco, and they introduced me to Bruce and Renee, and they set up a meeting with Ben and myself to talk about working a harvest in 2002. I went down to Ben's house in San Francisco, and we kind of hit it off. And I had no experience, but I liked to cook. I liked wine. I had made a lot of beer in my time, and so was familiar with fermentation.
It takes a lot of beer to make good rosé.
That's right. So Ben and I kind of hit it off, and he said, "Yeah, why don't you come help me out this harvest, and we'll see what happens." So I moved up to Healdsburg and camped out with Ben for 2 months in September.
Because that's right. When we first started, so Ben and Bruce, everybody lived in San Francisco, but Ben came up here for harvest, and so Ben lived in his van, right, and camped for 3 months or so during harvest, and you guys all camped. You and Tyson. When did Tyson come on board?
Tyson worked the harvest of 2003.
You're gonna make me do the math. So 17 years.
Yep.
And so he joined you guys camping. So it was the three of you guys camping. And wait, did you camp the whole time?
We weren't allowed to leave. Okay. Ben and Bruce thought if we went down to the bar or to the store or something, we wouldn't come back.
So you guys weren't allowed. I didn't know.
So this winery where we're making wine was up a 2-mile dirt road. So we really were removed from civilization. Basically, we had we had power, but that was about it. We had power and running water. We didn't have a refrigerator or a stove or anything like that. We were camping.
But you guys were cooking amazing. Oh, and Dave, by the way, is an amazing cook, a chef. Dave cooks us our lunches during the week at the winery, unless it's harvest time. So you guys are all foodies, and were you cooking back then? Was Ben? Did they know your cooking skills?
Well, that was part of the reason I think Ben agreed to let me help out for harvest, because I told him I could handle, I could pull my own weight over the grill. So every night we had a little 2-burner camp stove, and Ben would cook something crazy delicious, like some risotto or some polenta or some pasta or something, and he would put me in charge of the grill, and Bruce would bring up a couple of ribeyes or a piece of fish or something delicious. And all we had was a cooler. We didn't have a refrigerator, so every day he would bring us provisions, and we had a grill that Ben had built out of an old oil drum, and we would just burn barrel staves, and I would flip steaks, and Ben would do his magic over there, and we'd pull together a delicious meal and drink a bunch of wine every night.
So no beans and franks, no campfire beans.
There's not a beans and franks to be seen, no.
I couldn't imagine.
It was more like herb encrusted halibut and pesto, orzo with shiitake.
Yeah, with shiitake mushrooms. You guys are crazy. So somebody's asking, there's possibly maybe a 20-ish year age gap between you and Ben. How did it work out that you wanted to probably go hit the bars at night and Ben probably wanted to sleep?
Yeah. Well, I knew I wasn't allowed to, because every night we did punch downs at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock every night. So we would finish our work for the day at 5 or 6 o'clock, spend a few hours cooking and eating a great dinner, and then by the time we were done and cleaned up, we had to boil water to do our dishes. So it was camping. It was elaborate. And so by the time we were done, it was 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. It was time to do punch downs, and we'd go back over to the winery and spend an hour or two doing punch downs.
So you guys had your chores.
You had
to get your chores done. That's awesome. A reminder, anybody who's just joining us, this is our assistant winemaker, Dave. Ben is off getting the rosé ready for bottling on Friday. So I wrangled Dave to chat with us and give us some real history, because we only hear Ben's side of these beginning stories in this camping. Did you guys drink wine or beer or spirits while you were hanging out at the campsite?
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Okay, perfect. That's
the spirits for after dinner. Bruce and Ben liked this oak aged Scotch from the Limousin forest, which were the same forest that we were getting the barrels for the Pinot. So it kind of went hand in hand with our Pinots.
That's kind of cool. Do they? Oh, yeah. Ben says they drink lots of Scotch. Is that hooch or is that Scotch? Ben may be drinking right now, for all I know, with his typo there. And Dave, you're from Kansas City.
Lawrence, Kansas. Yep.
Are they in the Super Bowl?
They are playing in the Super Bowl. They're playing the Buccaneers.
Okay. Well, I knew
Tom, you may have heard of Tom Brady.
I've heard of Tom Brady, but he's against your team. You're with Mahomes, right?
Yes. And I'm sure your kids like Mahomes.
My older son schooled me on the Super Bowl. So, hey, here's to the Chiefs. Is it Chiefs?
Yep.
Yep. I'm very knowledgeable with football. Ask me anything. I'll stick to drinking my wine. But yeah, here's to your Kansas City team. I know where you'll be on Sunday. You'll probably be drinking all of the above as well. Okay, so rosé, last time, Wine Club members, you can get this now. It's available online for you, or you can email me if you want to add it to your Spring Wine Club, which Wine Club's coming out next month. So shoot me an email. I'll add it. They'll all ship together. Non-club members, either join the club and get on the bandwagon, get this now along with all our other great wines, or of course, next week it should become available and you'll be getting an email with that. If you're not on our email list, join on. Let's because this is delicious. This 20 is amazing, and I'm drinking a barrel sample. How long is it in barrel?
From October until yesterday. So
October yesterday, because now it's in the tanks, right? Because then it'll go into.
We put it in the tank. We put it in the tank and blended it. We have a couple of different lots that we put together throughout the year, and that's all blended and cold stabilized, so it doesn't throw any tartrates. Hopefully, when it's in the bottle, and we filtered it, so it's yesterday, so it's all clear and sparkling, and it'll be ready to go on Monday.
Nice. And I'm going to go to the winery on Friday, 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning to hopefully, last year, Ben and I pulled a bottle right off the line and tried it. I'm getting a sneak peek now, but maybe Friday we can do that again because I think that's a good tradition to do. But speaking of punch downs, were there any creative? I'm obviously being fed questions. Were there any creative ways, to get some help to help you with punch downs?
Well,
You'll have to tell you.
And your mom is on.
pardon?
Your mom is on, but
Oh yeah, no, we always it's good. It's a good workout and it's good for you. But after a month of 3 times a day straight through, sometimes it did happen that we may have gone down to the bars on our way up at night and recruited some help to come punch. The
guy bartenders, when they were done with work, they helped you?
Maybe. The young lady at the bar. The bachelorette parties in town sometimes would help.
Tom's on too, by the way. I just wanted, I don't know if anybody knows your real stories. Yes, Dave and Tyson did a great job creatively. Yolanda, the statute of limitations for insurance is well done by now. Don't worry. I'm guessing the cuter girls in the bar were invited to come spend a night in the as a winemaker, right? And I'm sure you guys impressed them. You guys are good-looking guys swinging into the bar. Oh, darn, got to go to work, but would love to talk more. Come with me. Mm-hmm. She done. And you're married with a kid now, so it obviously worked.
That's true. And they both love to come do punch downs to this day.
Was Allison one of these girls that you picked up in the bar?
She wasn't, but she does like to come do punch downs now.
Okay, good job, Allison. Keep it going. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so what is your favorite story from camping? I heard something. My thought is 3 guys out 2 miles out. You're not allowed to leave. Were you chained up at night? Number 1. Number 2, showers? Did you guys get anything like that?
We were fortunate in that, Ben had no shower the first 2 years I think he was up there, but we shared on the property, which is a huge couple 100-acre property. We shared with William Cellium Winery. They had a warehouse there, and they installed a shower for their one employee that lived she didn't live on the property, but she worked there a lot, and she slept in her car also a lot. And so they put a shower in for her. And I do remember on at least one occasion, Ben walking out of the shower in nothing but a towel. And Cammie, she was a female warehouse manager, coming around the corner, and Ben's standing there, walking out of the shower. He had to walk across a dirt parking lot. So he had, we're not thinking anybody else is around a lot of the times, just us guys. But Cammie was up there sometimes, so there were definitely a couple of times where she screamed in surprise. I don't know if it's delight or surprise.
Well, we're going to go with delight.
Yes.
Because Ben's delightful. Ben said he showered when he cleaned the press. And I've heard Ben say this before. We clean the press because you have the hose. May as well just turn it on yourself a little bit too. So you guys showered is the good news.
That's correct, yeah.
Right. So we'll give you that one. Well, I want to go on to the Zinfandel, because not only are we doing the 2020 Rosé today, which, by the way, 2020 has gotten this bad rap because of all of the fires and the smoke and everything that happened this year. And this is tasting beautifully. Smoke taint, I'm not catching anything. I don't know a lot about smoke taint, but I know it really did not affect us. We are lucky because Pinot Noir is the first red grape pulled in. We're very lucky. We pretty much had everything in and then barreled, right? Fermented, barreled by the time the fires really, really hit. And so we're beyond fortunate in that regard. I don't, smoke is not.
In 2018, for sure, it wasn't an issue for us.
No, this is the 20. The 20 is the press loves to rant on about that. But anyway, let's go to Zinfandel, because now
I thought you were on to the Zin already. No, the Rosé, yes, I got you.
Because 2020, well, hello, they're all fire years at this point, right? 17, 18, 19, 20. But you guys have the 17s out there. They're delicious. They're incredible. You probably have some 18s out there. 19s are around the corner. But are 2018 Zin. 2018 Zin is newly released to everybody. It came out with our wine club in the fall. It is now officially available online. Anybody can order the 18 Zin. We don't make a lot of Zin, but we've always made Zin, right? We always made the Zin. Pinot Noir was usually made in Ben's garage in the city. Zin was in Bruce's garage. We've always done a Zin. We used to do a couple of Zins. Now, if I'm correct, we pull grapes from Pauline's, which is across the street vineyard, Timbercrest Farms, which is the property we are on. They're so similar, but we blend them together to create one Dry Creek Valley Zin. This is it, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
It is. It's not too jammy. It's not too spicy. It's got that nice mix. We call it a Zino because we make it in a very similar style to the Pinot Noir. How do we make the Zin, Dave? Tell me what's different about our Zin.
It's the same as the Pinot. It's all in the open tops. And so small 1 ton fermenters, punch down 3 times a day. It's not, it's a little gentler than a lot of other Zinfandels out there. So it's less extracted and jammy, like you're saying. So it doesn't quite get when you're doing pump overs all the time in a big tank, you tend to extract more of the tannins and big flavors from the skin. So ours is more subtle and elegant than most.
It is. No, and I hate to say softer style, but it's a lighter style. It's very food friendly. Ron saying he had the Zin with grilled lamb chops. Delicious, Ron. We just did a wine, cheese, and chocolate in December, and we paired this with a truffle cow, like a brie, and a deep dark chocolate, and it was unbelievable and absolutely amazing pairing. John likes the Zin, and John, you told me you weren't going to be on tonight, so that's actually hilarious. Talk to me about this thing called a Smackdown, right? So the 2018, we have this thing called a Smackdown. Tell me about it, because Dave, you went to the first Smackdown.
I went to one of them. I think Ben went to the first one or the second one, but it's a really nice event that Dry Creek Vineyards puts on, and they do it out of I don't know, neighborly goodness, and they invite all the guys in Dry Creek Valley that make Zinfandel, and we all bring a couple of bottles of Zin, and we do a blind tasting. I think there's 30 wine. I could be wrong. 40 wines.
30 something. So it's all winemakers or wine owners?
All winemakers are owners. And
it's incredible. It's a good old. It's not a public event.
It's not. It's a private thing, and they put on a nice spread and feed everyone, and we do a blind tasting, and everybody gets together and gossips and talks about the valley and Zinfandel and stuff like that. But being that we're Pinot producers and 95% of the wine that we make is Pinot, it's funny to be sitting around talking about Zin and showing everybody our Zinfandel. And it was so Ben couldn't go the year that I went to represent us, and he had been the year before, and he said he kind of bragged about how he was so surprised to get called up to the winners table at the end of the night, because he was not expecting it at all, as I wasn't either when I was there. So
when you were there, did we take second place or first place?
First place. And
first year, Ben was there. We got second place. From my understanding, they said, you're not going to like this, but second place is going to Papa Pietro Perry for their Zin. And of course, all the Zin people are like, oh my God, knock it off. You win enough for your Pinot. Now you got to win for your Zin. So we were invited the second year. I think we were on a cruise. So you were able to go, which was awesome. And then, you were.
Yeah, so he told me he couldn't have been more surprised when they called his name. And I laughed and thought it was a funny story. And lo and behold, the same thing happened to me. I was mid-conversation. It's like, what is it? What awards is it? Like the Golden Globes, where everybody's just sitting around drinking and not paying attention to the announcements or whatever. So same thing. I was talking to Randy and Eric or whatever, and out of the corner of my ear, I hear Papa Pietro Perry, first place. So I had to.
What the heck?
And I went up and accepted. This is the trophy.
Grab it and show it.
It's usually here, but
a trophy behind him is just a little tiny wine glass.
It's like what is this? 3 feet tall glassy.
3 feet tall wine glass. Yeah, no. Incredibly, when your colleagues in the business recognize you for greatness, it it's another level of kudos and attaboys that you get. So yes, Wanda, you're right. It's so good because it's Zeno. We do call it Zeno because we're Pinot producers, and it's a little lighter style if anything with it. But we use the same oak as we do Pinot Noir.
Yeah, the only exception is that we use not as much new oak. So it's the barrels that the Pinot has been in the previous year. So it still has a little bit of oak character, but it's not the brand new oak. So it's not all, doesn't hit you over the head with oak flavor.
Does Zin have as many clones as Pinot Noir does?
No.
Okay, no, that was an easy answer. All right, Dan.
Pinot Noir is more prone to mutation, and so they've isolated all those different mutations over the years. It just so happens that it mutates more.
All right, no, I've learned like 2 things now. Dave, what are you tasting in the Zin? So as you taste the Zin, and you don't have tasting notes in front of you. So Dave and Tyson, we'll have to have Tyson swing by and say hi one day. Dave, Tyson, and Ben sit down every year with the wine. So when the upcoming wine club is going on, they sit down with those bottles and they all sit and taste and talk. And you guys write the tasting notes. You come up with what you are getting out of the flavors. You just did the 19s for Spring Club coming up. So when you did this way back in, last year, 19. way back in 19, when you wrote the tasting notes for this, that's what our tasting notes are when the wine first comes out. So clearly wine changes in the bottle with some age, what you're drinking, what you're eating with it, who you're eating it with, who you're hanging out, what your mood is. But what are you getting right now with this? Because I will tell you, a few weeks ago when I tasted this, I got those bourbon cherries that you put in a Manhattan. I sipped the wine and I was like, holy cow, that was 100% what I got. What are you?
What stands out in this to me today is more of a licorice component.
But black or red? I'm going red.
I'd go red or black, but it's more licoricey, and then still some of the classic black pepper and blackberry.
I get that dark red sweet fruit.
It's a little bit riper. 18 was interesting vintage because we normally when the grapes get to a certain sugar, we want to get them off the vine as soon as we can. But in 18, it was a cool year and a long year, and the acids were really high. So we were actually waiting for the acids to come down. To soften a little, so they wouldn't be quite so sharp and tart. So this is a little bit riper, so I do get that like almost, it's a little more higher alcohol. This is closer to 15% than some of the other vintages. I think it says 14.
Which is pretty typical. Zin's typically high alcohol. 14 point something. I need glasses.
Yeah. So it's a little higher alcohol, so you kind of get that bourbony cherry,
Oh, I like it. It's
Yep.
No, it's great. Crystal's on. Craig and Gay. I was waiting for you guys to chime in as well. I love our Zin. I got fried on Zins a few years ago, and you guys have gotten me back into the Zin. But this is a very approachable, easy drinking Zin. It's just yummy. I think that's a good descriptor. This is why I don't write the tasting notes for the wine. But
it definitely would be good sitting, around the campfire with some grilled ribeyes over the oil drum grill, cooked over barrel staves.
Does Ben still have that? Does Ben still have that grill?
Oh, we parted ways with that a while ago. But
that was probably gonna be if you made it out of whole barrel staves. Your mom said she had the Zin with Tom's Lamb last week and shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie's, well, I do old school. Well, you and I grew up similar. We've eaten some of the same stuff growing up.
Yep.
But my shepherd's pie is ground beef, so I don't know about all that. So we do have this is 2018. We have 2020 Rosé, 2018 Zin. In the middle is 19. We're going into our 19s with Spring Club. You guys just wrote the tasting notes. Next week, Dave, Ben, myself, we are going to be hosting our tasting room staff, opening up all of our the 19 spring release, so all of us can can drink it together. Any ideas for Super Bowl festivities? Yes. Get a bottle of Chardonnay, Zin, and Pinot. Do all of them. They all go with nachos. I'm going to go with that. They all go with nachos or maybe jalapeno poppers. What are you doing for Super Bowl?
I could see the Zin and some wings.
Yeah, I agree. Wings.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. How about the Chardonnay?
Sliders. Oh, Chardonnay. Chardonnay and wings works.
I'm guessing Pinot and wings. Pinot and wings work.
Pinot and wings.
With the ranch dip
Yeah,
wings.
ranch dip. Let's see.
I like blue cheese with it. Yes, everyone's onto the wings. What are you doing for Super Bowl, Dave?
I might do ribs.
Oh, good. Your mom says
In honor of the Chiefs being there, I'm thinking some slow smoked, baby back ribs.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice. That works out. And what are you going to be drinking with it?
Probably all of it.
Oh, good. That's
Not the Scotch. Oh, look who's here.
Oh, look, Renee Perry's here. Hello, Renee. Renee, what are you doing for Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm having a giant Super Bowl party. I'm gonna have about 50
She's having a
people
super spreader
at my house.
event.
No. I'll be watching football at home with Bruce and
You're doing the super spreader Super Bowl?
yeah. My little pod of my sister and her husband, I guess that's about it, really. But looking forward to it. I'll miss Dave's cooking, though. We always get together. Every year we always have a big Super Bowl party.
Ah, Dave, maybe you're going to have to cook and just do drop-offs.
Maybe that.
That's a good idea. Now you're
drop-offs.
thinking.
No.
Yeah,
You're welcome, Renee. That's right. I'm not stupid.
I didn't pay you to say that.
Ooh,
The homemade
Craig's
pots have
doing
been popular in the
Of
past.
course you do.
Craig is doing kielbasa bites with mustard. That could actually work with the Chardonnay too, because some of the mustards work really nice with the chard. All right, Craig, you're gonna have to report back.
Bruce loves little pigs in the blanket, so I imagine, or little and baby corn dogs. I mean, this is football food, and everything we eat goes well with Pinot. So
Sometimes you gotta go old school. I love old school. I call it white trash food because that's how I grew up. I love some of that nice, simple.
So I don't know, Dave, did you talk about your Rotella that you always make?
No. Usually I do a Velveeta Rotel cheese dip also.
To talk about trailer trash food, but there you go. It was like the old fashioned, with Velveeta, but it's delish,
And we're not defending anybody trailer trash because I grew up trailer trash. Oh, Nancy, look what.
Has a sister sandwich. Dave has a sister sandwich.
Oh my God. Wait, Lou is saying the best food and wine pairing is hot or spicy wings and a red Zin. The higher alcohol Zin cuts the wings. All right, Lou, report back because I think we should all do wings and Zin. So stock up on Zin. Oh, wait. Oh, today's Wednesday. We can still get it to you. Oh, comfort food. Yes, Wendy, we do call that comfort food. Oh, my neighbor's on too. This is awesome. What are you guys drinking? Oh, you know what? You know what happened? Nancy and Renee saw that Dave was opening up a barrel sample of rosé. You guys hustled your bites right over to the winery. Well played. I like it. Did you guys try the rosé yet?
Yes, we did.
Isn't that yummy?
The best.
I almost took that one because I wanted that topper. Oh my God, the 2020 rosé is absolutely delicious. Well, we're actually a little out of time. So a couple of things for you guys. Valentine's Day is around the corner. We have a Valentine's Day bundle still time to get it to anybody, even on that East Coast. A bottle of 17 Charles Vineyard, Anderson Valley, Pomard clones, and then handcrafted Volo chocolates. We picked these chocolates specifically to pair with these wines. Amazing, delicious. Oh my God. They're absolutely delicious. So Valentine's Day bundle, go online. You can order that now. And then we've also got, of course, our virtual tasting. So we've got a Riedel seminar coming up March 25th. Virtual bingo at the end of this month. We have Liberty Ducks, Sonoma County, amazing duck breast. I
just ordered some duck from the duck company because of what you guys were saying about how good the trial went. So I went on the duck website and ordered some.
Did you order that for you or for the winery?
No, for me. But you guys do
I'll come up for lunch.
It's lunch, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking lunch. Let's do, Renee, we should definitely do this. Without a doubt. Let's see, what else do we have coming up? Oh, perfectly paired cooking video. Chef Jim May is back next week on Wednesday. He's going to be doing oysters 3 ways because normally we do oysters and rosé. And then 2 weeks from now, I'll be back live with the CEO and one of the founders of Hog Island Oysters, which is an amazing oyster company. We absolutely love them. So they're going to be joining us, and we're going to eat lots of oysters together, which we absolutely love. So join us virtually. But you know what else? If you're local or you're coming local, we are open. So come visit the winery. Absolutely, reservations are required. Same-day reservations if we can fit you in. I was lucky enough. I sat on the patio today with some great club members. It was cold and rainy, but you know what? We had a great, great time. So it doesn't matter the weather. It's a covered patio. We're covered. We have heaters. It's awesome. Come see us. We would love to see everybody. And, Craig, Point Reyes, blue cheese with date spread, Valley Ford Highway 1 and MAGA 777. Do it. Our members you guys rock it out there. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dave, for being.
Yes. Thank you, Renee, for popping in. Thank you, Dave, so much. We are absolutely happy to see everybody. And see you guys next week on Perfectly Paired. 2 weeks from now, back live. So see you guys then. Cheers.